Greetings all you maniacs and minds on crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe weapon showcase. Today we're going to be talking about the Panthera Prime, a weapon that I feel is really good. I definitely enjoy the weapon. Some people are, I'm not even going to start. Anyway, so this is the first build. I have multiple builds. I know I could put another Forma and then max out terminal velocity. It's whatever. So this thing has quite a lot of status, a lot of slash, and all of that. So why am I using Vigilante armaments instead of using heat? It's because how this weapon fires its rounds. So you see how it fires, right? It's not, all the saw blades do not go in the same spot. I kind of wish they did, but you know, it's whatever. So just having more multi-shot makes this weapon a bit more consistent. Anyway, so this weapon doesn't have the greatest critical chance, but you should still probably build for crit anyway. To get this higher, you can use something like an Ardasva Kavat. You can use a Smita Kavat. There are Arcanes. And of course, Hero buffs, which I'm not going to show Hero buffs, but this thing's actually decent with mag. But before that, we will test against level 140 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Side note, the alt fire, I don't use it very much. It looks kind of neat. You know, it's a saw blade. It's a saw blade yo-yo. But anyway, another thing. Yes, this weapon is not very good at Steel Path. But honestly, there's no point of doing Steel Path. There isn't. There just isn't. Fuck more resources DE. We don't need it. Fuck more Endo DE. We already have Endo farms. Fuck more credits. We already have credit farms. And fuck Steel Essence because the drop rate is too low, and what Teshin has is not worth it. Relic packs. You could just farm Syndicate Standing and get relic packs. Or just do Disruption for relics. Jesus. Anyway. So this weapon has a bit of an explosion of slash damage, which is pretty neat. So, does this weapon hit hard? Yeah, it does. It hits pretty fucking hard. Now, you do have to be kind of close. But that's fine. Just kind of act like it's a shotgun. And it will stagger you. But if you're Nezha, then it won't. With its 3 active. Because, you know. So yeah, the bleeds are pretty numerous. There's a lot of them. Now, you could build this thing for Corrosive. You could build this thing for Toxin against Corpus. Honestly, with this thing's status chance, it's pretty deadly against Corpus, to be honest. Especially with the Toxin build. But yeah, the slash of this thing, it's good. It's definitely good. The explosion radius isn't huge. But you can see how fast you get slash procs. Now, ammo technically isn't really a problem most of the time, but it can be. Also, this thing uses 2 ammo per shot. So it makes me wonder why this thing by default doesn't fire 2 saw blades. That'd be kind of neat. Anyway, I mentioned a Toxin build. Something like this. This obliterates Corpus. They do not stand a chance. With these saw blades ricocheting all over the goddamn place. Yeah, they don't really stand a chance. And I'm pretty sure they just ricochet. They don't ricochet forever, but they ricochet a hell of a lot. So, yeah. Also, if you want more velocity, Zephyr exists. I keep mentioning that, but, you know, people ignore Burb. I don't know why. Anyway, let's go to my sweet mag. And, you know, this build with Arcane Rage just for more damage. It's on headshot. And by the way, mag's bubble pretty much guarantees you're going to get headshots most of the time. It not all the time, not with every weapon, but most of the time. The HEMA is overpowered with mag. if you know about the HEMA. So, anyway. I really dig this fashion. I am so glad I got the Synogen. Oh, how I got the Synogen, you might ask? I refunded New Vegas. I don't like it. So all of those were like, oh, New Vegas playthrough? Sorry. Maybe one day. But yeah, it's... because the enemy... It does explode. It does slash explosions. All the enemies are pulled in one spot, and they're being viral procced. It's a decent mag weapon. I don't really need to do anything else. But I will also show it with punch through. So this weapon with punch through, and let me show you. So when you go here, the radial attack damage fall off of 20%. So yeah, anyway. It doesn't really add all that much damage. You only get 50 more slash and 60 more viral. That really isn't a whole lot. You could say, well, it's enough to where you would want to not use punch through. And sure, but also so I'll just put on prime shred and then put on thermite rounds. So yeah, slower rate of fire without viral acceleration. But yeah, the heat definitely makes a huge difference on the damage. It's just how this weapon works that you want to be firing 3 saw blades most of the time. But I mean, it is a decent mag weapon. I mean, it's a projectile-based weapon with a lot of slash damage. Of course it's going to be good with mag. That's not like, you know, a really big deal. Anyway, let's go back to the old build, the build that I actually prefer running. Even though I really love my punch through on weapons, it's just how this weapon works. That punch through, it does work. Punch through does work pretty damn well with this weapon, but you do lose a little bit of damage. Anyway, now what we got to do is buff the shit out of it. So I'm going to be going just full on crazy mode. Where is Arcane Rage? There it is. I know I'm a scrub. I don't have every arcane maxed out. You know, I don't do Eidolons. I'm total garbage. I know. So yeah, of course, Mirage, you know. I really do wish this thing had more crit. But, like I said, there is an easy fix for that, and I'll do that in a second. But yeah, just more raw damage. Can't go wrong. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take my blank slate and then my companion. Bring out old Vol Kitty. Haven't used her in so goddamn long. So, the most important thing here is Cat's Eye. So this is going to give plus 60% critical chance. Now, here's how it works. You see this 45%? That is going to go to 105%. Simple. Alright. Now, I obviously have to wait for her. Aha. So yeah, with critical chance, I mean, if you run an Ardospa Kavat all the fucking time, then this is not a problem. But the thing is, it is reliable because it's the only buff the cat will be giving you, but it doesn't happen all the time. You might as well be tickling her, Valkyrie. I miss using her because she looks so much better than my freaking Smita. But I don't want to... I don't want to have a flower monster Kavat, even though I do have the deluxe skin for Korra. I just didn't get the pack because I was not spending 225 platinum on aesthetics. Not doing that. But yeah, this weapon, if this thing had more crit and maybe they'll buff it, that'd be kind of cool. Honestly, I would be okay if this weapon, instead of having the status chance like the old one did, if it instead had more skew towards crit, then it would be a lot better. But at the same time, with its high status chance, you are going to be getting a lot of status procs. Impact / puncture, all of it. And it's just going to destroy. So it's kind of a pick your poison sort of thing. Now, if you have the right arcanes, then you don't need to worry about this. I think it's either Arcane Avenger. It's Arcane Avenger? Yeah. So this will give you guaranteed crits, or near guaranteed. So it'd be 90% critical chance. So on damaged. I don't know if it could be refreshed, but you know, that's a thing. So there are ways around the low critical chance. And of course the Vigilante set. So one last thing I'm going to do is show what happens when Wukong takes a hold of it. So on my Wukong I don't use very much, but it's just sort of a meme build. Like I have the Vigilante set here. Obviously I could have more. If I was using a Sentinel, I could, you know, max this out. But anyway. So Wukong's clone with this weapon is actually pretty good. Because, you know, he does double damage. He fires all over the goddamn place. And yeah, with the crit ups, this thing is actually pretty fucking gross. Now, I could go into a Steel Path mission and show all that there, but there really is no point because the Steel Path, some enemies really are best dealt with melee. Unless you're packing some serious firepower like the Wukong, you're not going to really take enemies down super, super fast with guns. It's just, the enemies are so overtuned. But that's fine, that's whatever. I'm mostly talking about Grenier here. And Corpus. The Infested are still the Infested. Anyway. So Wukong works pretty well. As expected. That does it. The Panthera Prime is a good weapon. It is very, very good. And honestly, it's very fun to launch saw blades, of all things, at enemies. We got laser beams, we got plasma throwers, we've got fucking explosives. Nah, let's just make a workshop tool into a weapon. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.